Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today's Tuesday. Today we are learning the final Perek of Seder Nashim. It's the last Perek. Officially, the Siyum is tonight. However, since my family and I were about to enter Simcha season with my son's Urfuf on Shabbos and the Chasna next Tuesday, we are delaying, made an executive decision last night to delay the Siyum until the Shabbos Ufruf. It'll be done before the Kiddush. And unfortunately, the Siyum will not be recorded and will not be posted because it's be done on Shabbos. So if you've been following along with us until now, we're going to finish the last parak today minus a couple of lines. We'll figure out exactly where. And then if you got this far in the Seder, then you can finish up those lines on your own and make your own siyum wherever you are. And Rosh Hashanah, tomorrow we're going to start Nezikin with Bava Kama, and we'll get back to a regular siyum schedule back in September when we finish Nezikin. Hashem for Simchas, and let's keep on stacking. Okay, today's shiur is sponsored by Nishma Saranach Simcha Kohen Shomor Chavishem Sabash Moleb and Miyam Mash Ben Yosebin Shalzal Rachel Eliana Bas Yalabracha Avram Yitzchak Marisha Chaybas Tabel Fush Tema B'Sach Shar Chol Yisrael. And special shout out on this last day of Seder Nashim to our sponsor for the Seder, the Imperial Advisory Group. They are an award-winning CFO advisory firm whose team of CFOs brings an average of more than 30 years of experience. They help businesses go beyond bookkeeping and accounting by providing strategic financial leadership, empowering leadership teams to make more informed big-picture decisions. To learn more about Imperial Advisory, visit their website at www.imperialgrp.com. Thank you so much for your sponsorship for the past 3 months, and we wish you the best of all your endeavors. Here we go. Perek Meseres Kiddushin, Perek Dalid, Mishnah Aleph, Asara Yuchsin Alu Mibavel. The people of 10 different types of lineage came up with Ezra from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael after the Galus of 70 years, and they are as follows: Kohanim, Leviyim, Yisraelim. Number 1 is Kohanim. Number 2 is Leviyim. Number 3 is Yisraelim. Chalalim, Gerim, Charudei. Right. Yeah. Number 4 was Chalalim, people who fathers married. Was a Kohen married a divorced woman. They became Chalal. Number 5 is Gerim, converts. Number 6 is freed Natinim. Number 7 is Mamzeirim. Number 8 is Natinim. Number 9 is Shishukim, and 10 is Asufim. A Shishuki is someone whose father is unknown, and a Sufi is someone whose father and mother are both unknown. We're going to explain this soon. So now we're going to talk about different rules when it comes to each of these categories. Kohanim, Leviyim, Yisraelim, Utarim, Level, Zebazet. Kohanim, Leviyim, and Yisraelim are permitted to marry one another. Leviyim, Yisraelim, Chalalim, Gerim, Charurim, Utarim, Level, Zebazet. Leviyim, Yisraelim, Chalalim, converts, and freed slaves are mutter to marry one another, but Kohanim may not marry female Chalalim, they cannot marry converts, and they cannot marry freed slaves. Gerim, Charurei, Mamzeirim, Natinim, Shishukim, Asufim, Kulam, Mutar, Level Zebazet. Converts, freed slaves, Mamzeirim, Natinim, Shishukim, Asufim, and all are all allowed to marry one another, but Kohanim, Leviyim, Yisraelim, and Chalalim may not marry Mamzeirim, Natinim, Shishukim, and Asufim. It's a little bit of a lot to handle there, so let's just break it down a little bit. So we know that the Torah asks a mamzer from marrying a Jew. Nevertheless, this Tana holds that a mamzer may marry a convert or a freed slave, although even though they're fully full-fledged Jews in almost all other aspects. You may also marry another mamzer, including a Shishuki, as we said before, is you don't know who the father is, or an Asufi, you don't know who both parents are, and a Nasan. The law, so we can summarize these laws very simply. Male Kohanim are uniquely restricted that they are asked to marry chalalos or converts, which includes the freed slaves. Other born Jews, the Leviyim in Yisraelim can marry chalalim, chalalos, and converts, but they cannot marry disqualified people, meaning Mamzeirim, Natinim, Shishukim, and Asufim. Then converts and disqualified people can marry each other. So that's the breakdown of these halachas. Mishnah Bay is Elu Hem Shishukim. These are Shishukim. What's a Shishuki? Okay, Koshu Makir is Ima Ve'eno Makir is Avi. So anyone who knows his mother but does not know who his father is a Shishuki. Asufi, but what's an Asufim? What are Asufim? Anyone who's taken it from the street does not know who his father or his mother is. So you only consider this kid to be Jewish if he's found in a town where most of the people are Jewish. If he's otherwise, he's presumed to be a non-Jew. I mean, throughout history, you have babies who were left on the firehouse steps because they don't want, well, not that they have a firehouse, but they were left by the firehouse. They don't want the babies. Like that kid is probably an Asubi. You know who the father and the mother is. They abandoned the kid by the firehouse, and the firehouse took them in, and that's an Asufi. Abba Shal Hayakori L'Shisuki Baduki. Abba Shal will call Shishukim Baduki. Examine ones. Because the court would examine the mother about the identity of the father. If she says that he was not a disqualified person, then she is believed. Mishnah Gimel. All people who are ushered to enter into the tzibur, they're ushered to marry ordinary Jews. With Torah levels that was said they can marry one another. So that's not only referring to Mamzeirim, Natinim, Shishukim, and Asufim, but also to Gerim from Ammon Moab. They are also allowed to marry disqualified people. Rabbi Yehuda asks converts to marry Mamzeirim. He agrees that converts from Ammon Moab may marry such people. Lezer says, marriage between those who are definitely usher to marry regular Jews and others who are definitely usher to marry regular Jews, such as imams are marrying imams is mutter. Vadan besveikam. However, marriage between those who are definitely forbidden, those who are possibly forbidden, such as a mamzer and a female shisuki, or marriage between those who are possibly usher, those that are definitely usher, such as a shisuki marrying a mamzeres, or marriage between those who are possibly usher and those who are also possibly usher, such as a male shisuki with a female shisuki, that they're both sveikum, usher. All of these three cases, the marriage is usher, because if it's someone who's only possibly disqualified, may taka be a regular Jew. Therefore, a regular Jew may not marry a mamzer or someone who might be a mamzer, not the mehi. And these are the sfigas. These are the possible ones. People who are possibly forbidden to marry ordinary Jews. Shishuki, a Shisuki, and a Sufi, and a Kusi. As we said many times, the Kusim were a pagan group who settled in Eretz Yisrael during the first Beis Hamikdash, and when they were attacked by lions, they converted to Judaism in the hopes of being saved. However, even after the Gerim, they kept some pagan beliefs and did not observe Mrs. properly. So, since they did not properly observe the laws of marriage and divorce, it often happened that one of them would marry a woman who was still married to someone else, and any children from that union would be Mamzeirim. Therefore, Chazal ruled that they must be treated as possible Mamzeirim, and ordinary Jews are also to marry them. It's good stuff. Mishnah Dalet. Hanos say Isha Kohenes. The Kohen wants to marry a woman who is a daughter of a Kohen. Sorry, Arba Imahus. You must check into her lineage by determining that the four of her female ancestors, two from her mother's side and two from her father's side, have no disqualification of lineage. In order to properly determine the status of these four ancestors, he must determine that of their mothers. Shehein Shmona, which means that he must check 8 female ancestors in total. And they are Ima ve'em Ima, the woman's mother and the woman's mother's mother. Ve'em Avi Ima ve'ima, and the woman's mother's father's mother and her mother. Ve'em Avia ve'ima, the woman's father's mother and her mother. Ve'em Avi Aviha ve'ima, and the woman's father's mother and her mother. Leviyim Yisraelis. If a Kohen wishes to marry a daughter of a Levi or Yisrael Mosif and Alim out Echas, we add one more generation of female ancestors to those who must be checked, for a total of 12 ancestors, because disqualifications were more common in families of non-Kohanim, so you have to be extra careful. Mishnah Hey, Ein Bokin Loman Amizbeh Fulamal. We do not need to check the eligibility of a Kohen who has brought karbanos on the Mizbeach or anyone higher up in his family tree. Once you have proof that they served in the Beis Hamikdash, there's no need to check anymore, because they assume that they were approved for the avoda, but having been checked out previously. Nor does one need to check a Levi who stood on the platform in the Beis Hamikdash to sing, or anyone higher up in his family tree. Because again, they went through the verification process already, and they're all good to go. Nor does someone want, nor do you need to check a judge on the Sanhedrin or any higher up on his family tree, since they also had no disqualifications. You could not be on the Sanhedrin if you were not qualified. Similarly, anyone whose ancestors are known to have been among the public officials in Yisraelim, the God by Staka or charity collectors, they may marry off his daughters to the kahuna. There's no need to check his ancestors. Rabbi Yossi says, also, someone who signed as a witness in the court records of the town of Yishana, which is near Sipori, does not have to have his ancestors checked. Rabbi Chanina ben Atigna says, if also not need to have his ancestors checked, because all these people checked out previously. Mishnah Vav. Bas Chalal Zachar. The daughter of Mel Chalal Pshulam and Kahuna is disqualified from marrying to the Kahuna because she's a Chalal and may not marry a Kohen. This disqualification is passed on forever. I mean, a Chalal passes his son down to his son and further all the way down. The daughter of any of these descendants is also Chalal who may not marry a Kohen. Yisrael shenasa chalala. However, if Yisrael marries a chalala, bita k'sheira the kahuna. his daughter is fit to marry into the kahuna. She's not a halala because the status of halala is not passed down from a halala to her children. Chalal shenasa bas Yisrael. But if a chalal married a daughter of Yisrael, bas Yisrael, Bito psula le kahuna, his daughter is unfit to marry to the kahuna, since the daughter of a chalal is a halala, as we explained previously. Rabbi Yehuda says, "Bas ger zachar ki bas chalal zachar." The daughter of a male convert is like the daughter of a male chalal. Just as the male chalal passes down his status to his daughter, so too does a male convert pass his daughter's status down to his daughter. So, like a convert, she may not marry a Kohen. Mishnah Zayin. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov says, Yisrael shenasa kiyores. If Yisrael marries a female convert, bita kasher lekahuna, his daughter is fit to marry into the kahuna. Does not have the status of a convert. The ger shenasa bas Yisrael. Similarly, the male convert marries a daughter of Yisrael. Bita kasher lekahuna, his daughter is fit to marry into the kahuna. Aval ger shenasa kiyores. However, if a male convert marries a female convert, bita the kahuna, his daughter has a status of convert and is unmarried to the kahuna. According to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, at the status of a convert, it passes on to a convert's children, only if both parents are converts. Regarding both converts and freed Canaanite slaves, even up to 10 generations have passed since they were converted or were freed, their descendants have the status of Gerim and may not marry Kohanim. Until, unless the descendant's mother or father is a regular Jew, then the status of until that point, the status of convert is passed down to someone along the line marries an ordinary Jew and not another convert. Rabbi Yossi says, even a male convert, even if a male convert marries a female convert, his daughter does not have the status of convert and is fit to marry the kahuna. According to Rabbi Yossi, the status of convert is never passed down to a convert's children. Mishnah Ches. The father says, "This son of mine is a mamzer. He's not believed because the person is not believed to testify by his close relatives. Even if both the husband and wife say about a fetus in her womb, he's a mamzer from a different man and is thus a mamzer. They're not believed because you need two qualified witnesses, and they're not qualified because they're related to this child. Rabbi Yehuda is believed to say this child is a mamzer. That he believes, he says that you can believe it. Mishnah Tes. Mishnah the shlucha lekadish is bita. If a father gave his agent the right to accept Kiddushin for his daughter, and the agent accepted Kiddushin from someone, meanwhile, the father went and accepted Kiddushin for the daughter of a different man. The halach is, if the father's Kiddushin happened first, his Kiddushin is a valid Kiddushin, the agent's is not. If his agent's Kiddushin happened first, Kiddushin, the agent's Kiddushin is a valid Kiddushin, the father's is not. And if it's unknown which Kiddushin happened first, the daughter is not free to marry another man until both of the men who perform Kiddushin give her a get. And if they agree, one may give her a get and the other man may marry her. Likewise, if an adult woman gave her agent the right to accept Kiddushin for her and the agent did so, but meanwhile she went and accepted Kiddushin for herself from a different man, the halach is if her Kiddushin happened first, her Kiddushin is a valid Kiddushin and her agent is not. The im shall shlucha kadnu, And if the agent's Kiddushin happened, first Kiddush of Kiddushin, his Kiddushin is a valid Kiddushin, hers is not. In the Yadua, and if it's unknown which happened first, Shneya knows still a get. She is not free to marry another man until both men give her a get. Being Ratsu, and if they agree, Echa knows still not get, Echa kones. One may give her a get, and the other man may marry her. Good stuff. Mishnah Yud. A man and his wife, who are both known to be qualified, went overseas with Bahu, the east of Anna. He later returned with a wife and children. He said, Isha Siyatas Siyam, Hare He Zu, this is the wife who went overseas with me, and these are her children. Ain Sarach Lahavi Raya Lo Al Isha. She does not have to bring proof regarding this woman, since he's believed to say that she's the same wife that he left with, who is known to be qualified. Lo Alabana, nor does he have to bring proof regarding the children, since we can assume that they are indeed his children. Mesa ve'elu banaha. If he said, my wife died, and these are her children, maybe Raya Alaban, he must bring proof regarding the children that they are indeed his wife's kids. The Eno maybe Raya Ala Isha. It does not have to bring proof regarding his wife, that she was known to be qualified. Therefore, once it's proven that the children are hers, they are known to be qualified as well. Okay. Mishnah Yud Aleph. Isha Nastasi B'dinas Yam Arehi Zu Ve'elu Baneha. If a man went overseas alone and returned with a wife and children and said, this is the woman I married overseas, and these are her children, maybe Raya Ala Isha. He must bring proof regarding the woman that she is qualified in regards to marriage. But he does not need to bring proof regarding the children that they are from her. Once it's proven that the woman is qualified regarding the marriage, in regards to marriage, the children are assumed to be qualified as well. Mesa ve'elu banaha. The man went overseas without a wife and returned the children, and he says, I married a woman overseas, but she died, and these are her children. He must bring proof regarding the women, and he must also bring proof that the children are hers. Mishnah Yebez. Lo Yisyachid Adam and Shtei Nashim. A man may not be alone even with two women, because he might convince both of them to be with him. Isha Achas Michedes. But one woman may be alone with two men, because each man will be ashamed to sit in front of the other one. Maybe Shimon says, Af ish echa b'syachid im shtei nashim b'sman ishto imo. Even one man may be alone with two women, and when his wife is with him. And he may even sleep in a room in an inn with other women if his wife is also there. Because his wife guards him from sitting with the other women. Misyachid Adam im imo bito. A man may be alone with his mother or with his daughter, and he may even sleep with them in the same bed with their skin touching, because there is no concern that this will lead to sin. However, once they have grown up, when a boy turns 13 and a girl turns 12, she must sleep in her clothes and he must sleep in his clothes. I mean, a father may not share the bed as a father may not share the same bed as his grown daughter unless both are clothed. Likewise, a mother may not share a bed with her grown son unless they are both clothed. That's a requirement. Mr. Yagimo. An unmarried man shall not be accustomed to be a school teacher for young children. Such a position will bring him in constant contact with the mothers who bring the children to school. Similarly, a woman should not be accustomed to be a school teacher for young children out of concern that she might come to be alone with the fathers who bring their children to school. Rabbi Lezer says, even someone who's married but has no wife with him in the school building, lo Yalamed Sofrim should not be accustomed to be a school teacher for the same reasons. And Mishnah Yadalit is a long one. I will do most of it now, and the rest will save for the Siyam, which again, the Siyam is supposed to be tonight, but it's being delayed until Shabbos for the during the Urf of my son Sruli. So if you are following along until now and did the whole Seder, then you need to finish up the last 3 lines on your own and make your own Siyam wherever you are in the world. And if you didn't finish it, then you're okay because you're not making a Siyam anyways. Mishnah Yudalit. Rabbi Yehuda says, "Lo yireh ravak behema." Then unmarried man should not shepherd animals, so that he does not develop a desire for them. Lo yeshnu shnei revakim taras echad. And 2 unmarried men should not sleep under one cloak, so that they do not come to sin. The Chachamim monitor these things because, according to the Chachamim, a man is not suspected uniting with an animal or another man. Any man whose business is with women, then that's his trade. He provides for the needs of women, like reselling clothing or whatever. He will not be alone even with many women. Since he's familiar with them, there is a concern that he might come to sin with them. So it doesn't matter what the quantity is, it's usher. Maybe Meir says the person should always teach his son an honest and light trade, even if it does not seem so profitable. He should pray for success to the one to whom wealth and possessions belong. Because there's no trade that does not have poverty and wealth. You have practitioners who are, some are poor, some are rich. It shows that poverty does not come from a specific trade, wealth does not come from a specific trade. If he's chuso, rather, it all depends on one's merits. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, have you ever seen a beast or a bird that has a trade? The ham is parnasin, and yet they are sustained without effort. But they were created only to serve me. But I was created to serve my master. Is it not logical? Then I should be sustained without effort. So why must I work for a living? But because I've corrupted my deeds, and therefore lost my sustenance. We see that a person's sustenance depends on his deeds and merits. Excuse me. Abba Guryan Ish Sadayan Omer Mishum Abba Guryan. Abba Guryan of Sadyan says in the name of Abba Gurya, Lo Yulamin Adamas Beno Chamor. Person should not teach the son to be a donkey driver, a gamal or a camel driver, safar, a barber, safan, a sailor, roa, a shepherd, a chemani, or a storekeeper, umnason, umnos, listed. Because these trades are the trades of thieves. There are many people who are in these professions have many opportunities to be dishonest and might be tempted to take money or property that's not theirs. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Abba Gurya, most donkey drivers are wicked because they steal. The most camel drivers are upright because they travel in dangerous deserts when they are in fear of losing their lives, and thus they offer a sincere prayer to Hashem. Hashvan and Reuben Hasidim. Most sailors are pious, Does he travel on the high seas, which are more dangerous than the deserts, and therefore put into greater reliance on Hashem? Tov Shiberov Film Gerim, famous phrase in Shas. However, the best of doctors are in danger of going to Gehenim because he does not fear sickness and therefore does not humble himself before Hashem. V'hakash shebetabachim shutvu shamalik. And even the most upright right of butchers is the partner of a malik because by constantly killing animals, he could develop the trait of cruelty, which is the hallmark of a malik. Okay. The Masechta concludes with the advantages of Torah study. We're going to do most of this, and the rest we'll do for the Siyam. Rabbi Nehuraya Rabbi says, I put aside every tree in the world. And I teach my son nothing but Torah, because the person may benefits from its reward in this world. Well, the principal reward remains for him in the world to come. All the trees are not like that. Rather, they benefit the person only in this world. Moreover, if a person becomes subject to illness, old age, or other suffering and cannot do his work, he dies of hunger. Torah but Torah is not like that. Rather protects one from all harmless youth, and gives him a good reward and hope in his old age when he is too weak or ill to study. Regarding the benefit of Torah, studying Torah in one's youth, what does the pasuk say? And those whose hope is in Hashem will have renewed strength. And and regarding his old age, what does it say? They will still produce in their old age. And it said about our forefather Abraham, peace be upon him, Zaken Hashem Berach is Abraham Bakol. And Abraham was old, and Hashem blessed Abraham with everything. This was in the merit of Abraham's Torah study. Okay, we're going to leave with the last two lines for the Siyam, which will be on Shabbos, as I said before. And Mazel Tov if you finished the whole Seder with us. And tomorrow morning we are starting with Seder Nezikin with Bava Kama. Thank you for joining us, and Kol Tov.